I'm going to try not to be long on this video regarding Malik Yoba. Everybody's got their opinion. Everybody's got a video. They're talking about this dude. But before I get started, I just want to say that it's not a black man thing. And it's quite interesting that black people are always exposing black people. I'm sure that there's a lot of white dudes that's in the closet. There's a lot of white dudes that's transsexual. There's a lot of white dudes that's gay. But you don't see white people trending and commenting and making videos about these white dudes. It appears that the so-called black male and the black female is leading the LGBTQ community. They become the face of the gay community. And I mentioned this in prior videos before I canceled my Fearless 2005 YouTube channel. Now, there's people that keep asking me, what happened to your channel? Because they look at this channel and other small channels that I have and they wonder what happened. Well, apparently these are people that have not been really watching my videos. You don't pay attention. You don't watch the whole video from start to finish. If you had, you would see that I kept warning people to subscribe on other channels, to follow me on Twitter, to subscribe to my WordPress page. And I even said that the channel wasn't going to be there for too much longer. So then when I finally shut that channel down, now I have people that's contacting me asking me, what happened to your channel? So again, for the record, subscribe here, check out my WordPress page. All the links you need to know is right in the description box. Back to the topic at hand. It's interesting that every time a black male comes out as a homosexual, whenever he decides to come out the closet, he always wants, or better yet, he's always got a message for black men. How are you going to lecture black men when you yourself failed at being a man? You can't tell me anything. If you come out the closet saying that you're a homosexual, if you come out the closet saying that you are attracted to transsexuals, which is a man, then you can't, there's nothing you can say to me. You have nothing to say to me. You have no type of advice to give me because you failed at being a man. Now, I want to place a disclaimer on this video. If you're sensitive, if you're weak at heart, if you can't handle the truth, I would advise you to click off right now. Because I'm tired of muting myself. I'm tired of being careful as to what I say. And I've learned that regardless of how much you try to tone things down, they will still find a way to attack you and to silence you even more. But the LGBT community have no power or authority over me. I'm going to always speak my mind. I'm going to always say what I feel the need to say. And I care less about a Facebook page. I care less about a YouTube channel. Hence the reason why I canceled my main YouTube channel with close to 40,000, no, actually, no, it was close to 60,000 subscribers. I had that number of subscribers and I closed that account down. That right there should tell you that I care less about views. I care less about subscriptions. Now, if you subscribe, I appreciate that. If you view the channels, I appreciate that. But I'm not controlled by views and I'm not controlled by subscriptions. So if you can't handle what I have to say, then you need to click off the video right now and unsubscribe to me. You won't hurt my feelings, and I've said this in the past. You will not hurt my feelings because the gay community, the gay mafia, cannot control me. They have no authority, and it's sad that so-called black people are now in a different type of slavery. You're oppressed and don't realize you're oppressed. And the oppression is not coming from the so-called white man. The oppression is coming from the so-called LGBTQ XYZ community. You have black people sounding like runaway slaves. And they are afraid to say gay people, homosexuals, faggots. They're afraid to say those things. And when talking about them, the first thing they say is, you know, especially when they talk about niggas, they say the N-word and you know and then they stutter before they say the LGBT community or the gay mafia. They become real careful not to offend them, not realizing that you gave them power and authority over you. You've submitted to that mark of the beast. So now they control everything you say and do. You're careful not to offend them for the fear of you losing your account and in some cases losing your job. But I will never be controlled like that. As long as I have a mouth to speak, I'm going to speak my truth. So Malik Yoba and dudes like him, whenever they come out the closet, they always want to put black into it. See, that's why I thank the Most High that I am not black. I never referred to myself as black. Black is a color. It's not a nationality. It's not a race. It's a label that was placed upon the so-called black people. You're identified as a color, black. Black is the color of night. I am not the color of night. My skin is brown. But it's interesting that black people have been so controlled by blackness. And I've said to you in past videos that black people need to stop betting on black. You need to walk away from blackness, because when you consider yourself as black, the so-called black community expects you to accept the LGBTQ community. They expect you to accept transgenders just because of the fact that you're black and they may be black. So if you don't accept them, then they say that you're really not pro-black. And you have so-called black people that won't even support you if they learn that you are not in favor of the so-called LGBTQ community. Now, when you look at this Malik dude, now keep in mind another thing too. When it comes to being controlled, I hear so many black people, and I refer to you as black because you're absent of light, you're absent of knowledge, you're absent of who you are. You have no knowledge of who you are and the connection you have with the universe. You think you know, but you don't know. But I'm going to do a video, and I was thinking about this earlier, and it's going to be a separate video than this, but the title of the video I'm going to be doing is titled Broken Gaydar versus Spiritual Discernment. See, a lot of black people think they have spiritual discernment when in reality they don't. They have broken gaydar. Which you perceive as being gay. You may label a dude as being gay, but in reality he's not gay. You may say that he's gay because of the fact that he keeps a clean house, or because he dressed neat, or because you don't see him womanizing. So because you don't see that dude womanizing, then you automatically come to the conclusion that he must be gay. Because of the fact that he's not out there impregnating every female that he lay eyes on, then he become a target of being labeled as being gay. But when you have that spiritual discernment, you look beyond the physical or the outward appearance, and you read their spirit. You read the energy of that individual. So regardless of what type of front they may show you, the dude may be married. He may have children, just like this Malik dude. He's got children. He's been married. And to my knowledge, he's still married. But yet inside, he feels he's a woman trapped inside a man's body. He's kept it hidden, but a person with spiritual discernment is able to see beyond the outward appearance. Now, if you notice, dude is always wearing a scarf around his neck. That right there is a sign. That's something I've only seen gay dudes do. Now, I'm not saying that straight men don't wear scarves, but I remember back in the day, man, when we wore a scarf, we didn't wear it draped around our neck or tied around our neck like that. We may have it just around our neck in the wintertime, you know, as a piece of clothing to keep us warm. But as a fashion, and the way this dude got it, he's always wearing a scarf tied around his neck. That's a symbol of him being gay. Look at that face. If you have spiritual discernment, you would have known or picked up the fact that he was a homosexual a long time ago. So now he called himself coming out saying that he's attracted to transsexuals. And you got black folks referring to transsexuals. If this dude, if he was born a male and he transitioned into a woman, so many black people accepted him as a she. And you're referring to him as a she and a her, giving strength and energy to that deception. It's a satanic deception. It's not a she or her. That's a man. A man dressing as a woman, pretending to be a woman. And the same applies for women who try to be men. There's no way I'm going to refer to a woman born into this world as a woman, and then she decides she want to be a man, and now I'm referring to her as a he. There's no way I'm going to do that, because they have no authority over me. And I'm not controlled by the gay community. But so many black people have given themselves over. They have given up their own will for the fear of being gang stalked, for the fear of losing a Facebook page or a YouTube channel, for the fear of losing your job. So you sell your soul. See, it's interesting. It's one thing talking about celebrities that sold their soul for fame and fortune, but you're selling your soul for a whole lot less. But the punishment is the same. So I watched a video earlier of this dude, this transsexual dude, that claimed that, you know, he was with Malik when he was in his teens. I think he was like 14, 15 years old. A couple of times I heard him mention 13. And he was selling sex. And that's a big thing in America now. That's the whole issue of the open borders. That's why the Democrats are fighting for open borders. Child sex trafficking. And we hear so much of young people now being kidnapped and sold into slavery. Well, don't think it's any different when you see celebrities like this dude. So he's always been a homosexual. He's just been in the closet. And when he made that statement that he was attracted to transgenders, then that sets off a chain of events that took place. Now you have this tranny coming out of the woodworks saying that he was with him when he was in his teens. And he admitted that he's trying to get some money. So this is not a surprise to me. This is a sodomite. He's always been a sodomite. Yes, he may have a wife, he may have children. That's still a man. Being that he's still a man, he still have the abilities to produce children. He still have the ability to marry a woman that accepts him. So she must not have had that spiritual discernment to know that he was a sodomite. Or maybe she just didn't care. She saw who he was, the money he made, and that blinded her. But he's always been a sodomite. But I think that black people need to stop letting blackness control you. Because Obama came along, a so-called black president. He made a lot of y'all feel comfortable being sodomites. And now you have people becoming sodomites as a fashion, as a style. You weren't born that way, but because Obama made it seem cool for you, now you have all of these people that's now curious and crossing over into the devil's playground. And I've always said that if you play on the devil's playground, one day the devil will show up. And you wonder why so much hell is wreaked in the black community. You wonder why black people cannot rise no higher than they are now. As a matter of fact, they keep sinking lower and lower. And it's sad that you have gays and transgenders and lesbians that had exceeded the so-called black Americans. You've been here for over 400 years. And you're still on the bottom, being murdered in the street like animals by the police. And now you submitted to gays and lesbians. They now have authority over you. You now having to watch what you say for the fear of being punished. Look at the condition of black Americans today. Afraid to speak the truth. And that's sad. But these so-called transgenders, when they come out the closet, if you notice, they always want to give advice to black men. When, again, you have nothing to say to black men because you failed at being a man. This has always been a sodomite. And I'm just surprised that none of y'all saw it. Now you're surprised. And when I was listening to that transgender dude, he was saying that there's other celebrities that he had sex with. See, so you play on the devil's playground, one day the devil will show up. So feedback, tell me what you think. I kind of got sidetracked. That's not really what I wanted to say. But when it comes to Malik Yoba, this is the nature of the beast. You know, this is just another way that black Americans have sold their souls. And he played on the devil's playground, and the devil showed up. So look out for my video, Broken Gaydar versus Spiritual Discernment. And the only way you can receive true spiritual discernment is to turn back to the Most High. And many of y'all has fallen so far from the Creator that there's no way back for you. There's no hope for you. All hope is done. The Most High had given you up to a reprobate mind, that you will believe a lie rather than the truth. And that's why y'all get mad so easy when somebody come along and speak the truth, something that you really don't want to hear, because now it goes in opposition against your dark nature. You allowed Barack Obama to bewitch you, to get you so hypnotized and caught up in wickedness that you can't see clear enough to know when you're in trouble spiritually, when you're damned for hell. And I'm sorry to tell you, but many of y'all sold your soul to the devil, and there's no hope for you. You're too far gone. You're reprobates. A lot of y'all are reprobates, especially those that curse the Most High. You curse the Bible. You take the Bible on a shooting ring and shoot it up. You know, you burn the Bible, you cut it up. You do crazy things. And then you blaspheme the Holy Spirit. You're too far gone. So feedback, tell me what you think. Till next time. I'm fearless.